Boom! Hi guys.
Hi.
Hey everyone. Boom. There we go. Hope the sound is okay. And I hope y'all doing okay. Hi everyone. Bam guys. Alright, we did it. New world.
So there we are. Indeed.
There we are. And both of us are here, ready to rock and roll. Let me just boom around a little bit. Let me move that down, and I'm just gonna do that. The video should be live on YouTube now, and we'll be posting the changelog here momentarily. Yes, you catch me in a temporary embarrassment. I was watching the World 12 announcement stream, and I had a glorious beard, but due to personal reasons, I'm temporarily an embarrassed beard man. A temporarily embarrassed beard man. The beard has gone the way of all flesh. Let's see. I just post here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just post that. Boom, there we go. So you should have the changelog up.
Now that being said, the changelog is rather bare bones this time, and then rather intentionally so.
Yep, we're keeping it very minimalistic. And the reason is that we're pretty confident about the changes that we have made.
Indeed.
Is the primary reason.
So for that reason, we thought it would be more fun to let you all discover them.
Yeah.
For yourselves, pretty much.
Pretty much, and I can just pull these over here, and we can go through them. I think that should work.
Indeed.
And so here we go. Yeah, let's just go through it real quick. Fast travel has been significantly reworked. Minutiae of changes will be documented as they are discovered.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the biggest changes, and one of the changes that we will be discussing the least tonight. We will make cursory comments on perhaps, the general reasons why we've changed it, but we won't discuss in detail what the changes are. We will leave that for you to discover. Same with point number 2, realms. Realms have been significantly reworked. Minutiae of changes will be documented after the founding of the first realm.
Yep.
But one of the things that we have done is that we have removed all raw stat bonuses from realm buffs. So they
no
know
more strength or survival bonuses.
Yeah, exactly.
Just for the sake of it.
Strength, intelligence, blah blah blah. They seemed very
redundant.
Very redundant, and so the realm buffs retain their qualitative effects, but we've nuked the raw stat effects. They seemed pretty pointless when we looked at them.
They just bloated the buff tooltip pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. So there was no real reason for having them, and minor changes to the ship speed bonus for Marriage of the Sea. Nothing important there. Credos now increase in difficulty by 1 quest per level and credo rather than 2, as has been the case.
So that's a change to credos for sure.
Soy face. Are you as soy excited as as I am? I hope you're excited for product and ready to consume next product, etc.
Next product is coming.
Indeed. So they're going to be significantly easier to get, and then there are some specifics on some of the things that we have changed, and we've replaced several effects, mostly aiming at effects having an impact on PvP or quality progression.
Indeed.
That is not to say that all quality progression bonuses have not been removed, but several of them have been.
Indeed. The more significant ones, at least.
Yeah, and this is we could I think we could have a good discussion here about where we want to go with credos and quests, because that's one of the things that we've been talking a lot about internally between us.
Yep.
So I think we could have a good discussion about that. We basically envision a pretty big rewrite of the credo system in general. So, but this is a temporary laxity on our part, a temporary leniency.
Indeed.
But yeah, generally the ambition has been to replace effects with a high degree of influence on quality, progress, and PvP. So Meteorites, access to lowest cave level is no longer dependent on meteoric iron. I think that was a big critique that several people had, and it was kind of a self-enforcing negative thing that, you know, you got high quality metal from the meteorite itself, and then you were also prevented from reaching the lower cave levels if you didn't actually win a meteor fight.
Indeed.
And I think there were only like 2 factions ever to get a meteorite throughout the course of the world, or something to that.
At least that's what's said.
That's what I've heard. I don't really know. So, but the lowest cave level will be difficult to reach, but it won't require anything, you know, super outlandish.
Mm-hmm.
Will this stream be uploaded to YouTube? Yes, it will be. The Lord willing, if OBS doesn't screw me over, etc., etc., we will be uploading this to YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Some MISC changes, inverted the giving-taking hands from barter stance. A minor fix, but it was...
We've long felt that it's kind of weird.
Yeah, the giving hand was the one...
It seems to be from the perspective of the buyer, who never sees the hands anyway.
Exactly, who never interacts with the hands. So we're going to change that. Minor thing. But we thought we'd mention it. Several changes and fixes, new implementations left to the joy of discovery.
At least one of them were in the trailer.
Yeah, I think several of them were. There are a lot of little hints and whatnot in the trailer, so feel entirely free to
speculate away, I guess.
Yeah, speculate away. Watch it over and over again. And yeah, subscriptions. All subscriptions are effective immediately. Paused until the launch of World 13. And for those of you who didn't catch it, we'll be releasing World 13 Friday, April the 2nd, 2021.
Which in hindsight was slightly badly chosen.
Not the best planning on our part. We didn't realize that was Good Friday according to the Western calendars. So a bit of a foul on our part. We apologize, not least of us, not least to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But that is what it is. We realize that.
A bit too late.
A bit too late. So we're going to have to go with it. It's going to have to be what it is. And we dodged April 1st because we didn't want this to be a meme reason.
And it was nice to have it on Friday too.
Yeah, so we're launching World 13 on Good Friday. So
not optimal perhaps, but
the omens, make of them what you will. The auguries are feel free to think about that.
But yeah, one of the first questions I see here is, what are you doing about botting realms, which is perhaps something that we can say something slight about.
Yeah, you go ahead if you have a hot take on it.
Well, I mean, in general terms, I think it's fair to say that one of the main intentions with the realm changes are that realm expansion should be much more heavily dependent on PvP rather than resources.
Yep. So we're playing the bingo here as well. So I don't know which
of the bingo bricks.
Which of the bingo bricks we've cleared as of now. I got 2 of these. So
is it bingo bricks in English? Is it bingo tiles? Is it
bingo? I have no idea. Bingo tiles. Let's call it that. I can't use my little pen, so I'll have to do it boomer style. So let's see. Loftar dismissed popular software earlier tonight. Does that count? I don't know what you guys feel. He had a long rant about how what did you say? Anyone can run their own whatchamacallit server.
RTSP server instead of just using Twitch.
Why are you using Twitch to stream when you can run your own?
Why are you depending on these large centralized services? It's so...
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
There, he said it. Dismisses popular software. Got that one covered. So I don't know if you see any. That being said, we got that one.
I don't think we got that yet.
Well, that being said, we're gonna return to the bingo game later. But yeah, let's go back to the change log. So those are the changes that we feel ready to announce at this junction, and I don't know if we can say anything about fast travel. I think you'll find it to be a pretty invasive change.
And it's a large change.
It is a significant change, and as we state here in the thread, we have a high degree of confidence that the changes to fast travel and realms will be well received. So make of that what you will, but I think it's safe to say that fast travel will be more accessible than it has been.
Indeed. Indeed.
So yeah, we'll leave it at that. But I don't know. One of the critiques that has been frequent is that it's been kind of difficult to get to, you know, like large encounters and such.
Yeah, exactly.
And that should be significantly
Less of an issue.
Less of an issue this time around. And
while at the same time, speaking from my own LARPing perspective, I also think these changes are to the better still, though.
I think it's safe to say that we're pretty excited about these changes because they retain a very interesting quality of locality. Mm-hmm. So we think that
while still being again more accessible, really, for most people.
Exactly. So readily available to a new player, etc., etc. But we'll leave it for you to discover. Apart from that, but
I'm sure there are balancing issues that may be taken over time, but
certainly
nothing major.
So we're very
famous last words, I guess. But
yeah. Question here: can we get the same player spawn as World 11? I don't recall what we did World 11.
We just spawned everyone everywhere in the world on all continents.
Right on.
I thought the consensus on that was that it didn't really work out that well, though.
Yeah, feel free to have any.
I mean, the spawning mechanics, that's actually one of those things that we haven't really fully decided upon yet, so there's certainly room to discuss them.
Yep. So feel free to have opine on the issue of how you want the spawning to work. We can, because that is certainly something that we could take input on. Like in World 11, we spawned everyone everywhere, but the oceans were a bit too large and didn't work out too well.
It seemed to me that it was felt that it sucked a bit to have the player population so sharded, shall we say.
Yeah. And in World 12, what we did was we spawned everyone on the same continent.
Indeed.
So,
which, on the other hand, left the other continents a bit underdeveloped. So none of those approaches were perhaps perfect, but it was my impression that the World 12 mechanic worked better, though.
Yeah. World 12 was good, says Overlord Mervin. Sieg Midori says World 12 spawn system was not fine, lol. Mass murders. So, will World 13 be smaller or bigger than World 12? We haven't decided, so feel free to opine on that.
I mean, we haven't actually generated the maps yet.
No.
My gut instinct would be to make them as large as previously, though.
Yeah, I thought World 12 worked out fairly well.
That was my impression too. And to the extent that the starting continent was felt to be too small, I think we could choose a larger continent to start out on instead.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So that's also one of the things that we could control, like what continent do we actually spawn people on, etc., etc. But yeah,
like there is the larger continent in the west, we could have spawned everyone there instead.
Exactly.
I'm not sure if that would have been
better
or worse.
The dragon continent was pretty large, wasn't it? Says VDZO. So
was that a dragon continent?
I think he means the westmost continent is the largest one. I think maybe it looks slightly like a dragon. I don't really.
Okay.
But yeah, we could have used that one. Mescaline says, any changes about the client? I don't know, do a little client rant. Where are we at with the client?
Not sure, to be honest. I mean, the new client is obviously working.
Yeah.
And has been for quite some time. There have been some, apparently there was some large changes to Mac OS lately, and their latest release, apparently called Big Sur, which has left many Mac users in a bit of a quandrum.
Right.
But it's also quite difficult for me to debug that, since it's not possible to run Mac OS without having a Mac.
Right on.
And
so we need a Mac, is what you're telling me.
Well, either that or perhaps someone with a Mac who can actually, do local code changes and stuff. But
Jocktor asks, any changes in quality nodes to stop high-quality whale camping abuse? Apparently, you're repeating the question of Carolis NO. Not something we had considered, so not something specified in the changelog. What changes would you like to see, I suppose? Why aren't quality nodes wandering? I don't know. Can you make quality nodes drift?
We've considered that at several points. I think the consensus among us has been that it's kind of nice to be able to remember something about the quality field of the world.
Yeah. Can you add walls to burrows before the reset? Loftar said it was doable, but needed to...
No, right, we forgot that every time, right?
Right, I'll make a note of that.
Yeah, make a note of that.
Make a note of that. Somewhere. Walls to burrows. Change quality nodes. I'll consider that one.
Question mark?
Think.
I don't really remember the arguments for or against why quality nodes should drift. I mean, I've seen it argued for several times, but I have to admit I don't really remember what the arguments for it are.
If you're really excited about seeing changes to this, I suggest do a good clean write-up of this in the changelog thread, and suggest a concrete change, because that makes it easier for us. So, and we're all about making it easier for us. So let's just log on in and have a look-see at my little base. I haven't played much this world. I only very recently, damn son, started. So again, I played on world release, and then I played again kind of recently-ish. Got somewhat more well developed, but then I kind of lost track of it again. Since we've been working on the actual reset stuff, so I'm pretty satisfied with my little base, though. It's pretty nice. Are you happy about your base? You've been playing it for a bit, right?
A fair bit perhaps, but I could have gotten further for sure.
Azrid Rose Online says, "How do you feel about more viewers than players online?" Happy, I guess. I mean, that sounds good. Like,
more, yeah. Not sure.
Not sure. So here's some stuff that I've found.
I mean, the important thing is to have a good reset, not that it's good currently, right?
Yep. Average Benny says, "Please do more gameplay streams." Yeah, I think this should inaugurate the return of the regular stream. I've noticed that I haven't actually streamed anything since the World 12 reset, so that was perhaps a bit unfortunate. Here we have my found horses. So the horses that I've found.
So that's another bingo tile, isn't
so
it?
that is another bingo tile. Jorb discusses his found horses, and these are indeed found horses. So this is my little base. It's very, very humble. I haven't built a palisade or anything. I find that this late in the game you kind of don't have to, so I've been mostly left alone.
Yeah, I actually didn't build the palisade in neither this world nor the previous one, and I was never in any sort of trouble, I think.
Yeah, when I started, I started playing on reset night, and I had the ambition of sailing off this continent, and for the longest while I had all the materials that I required for a snekja. For a snekja. But I didn't actually build it, and then I'm here, by the way.
So now you know.
So now you know. Come see me. Now you see me, and my brave, intrepid discoveries have taken me to this island and to this island. And I noticed, and this is probably something that we should think about when we generate the world, is that these continents, even though they're very close to the main continent, are pretty much deserted. There is almost no one there.
Yeah, indeed.
So
that's the point of the spawn mechanics, I guess.
Yeah, that should be kind of changed.
Perhaps.
So I suppose that maybe is an argument for spawning people everywhere.
I mean, it is an argument for it, for sure.
But then again, maybe it's nice that these continents are abandoned-ish.
Yeah, it's not like you can make the argument. I mean, I guess if anything, again, perhaps the argument should be that the largest continent should be the spawn continent, rather. Not sure.
People says, Cozy says, people don't like boating blindly in one direction with no guarantee of land, lol. Well, get some Columbus in ya, son.
Indeed.
Damn, son.
I mean, it's not like it's even that hard to find land.
Show the fully generated map for World 12. I wish I could, but I don't have it readily accessible, so perhaps I should have had that, but I don't.
I haven't checked the public maps at all, actually.
No,
I would have expected it all to be there.
Average Benny says that was a good thing. Some people might chill and LARP on these far continents.
Mhm.
That is certainly an argument. I don't know, are black pearls a thing? Has anyone ever found a black pearl from oysters?
You mean IRL or?
No, in game. I've opened like a million of these, but I haven't actually found a pearl.
We added black pearls?
Yes, oysters give pearls.
Right, yeah, right.
They were intended to, at least.
Right, quite right.
But I haven't ever gotten anything. I've opened like millions of these.
I mean, that is one of the things that we could check in.
They have their own pearl type. The chat is laughing, so I suppose that means no one has found them.
That would be weird.
That'd be weird. They give pearls, but they aren't black. Oh, sorry, maybe they aren't that black. Maybe that was my imagination.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I misremember then. My bad, y'all.
Yeah, they have certainly been seen. That being said, they don't seem to be overly common, perhaps, but perhaps that is as it should.
Yeah, let's boat out. No, Colsey, I could see that no one likes boating, and that was my experience as well. Boating out with no real idea of why the...
You should zoom in a bit so that it doesn't look so retarded.
Should I? Oh, sorry. Sorry. Never mind the map border there. Add sharks, to be honest. That's not a bad idea. We should do more with the oceans.
Perhaps.
Porpoises? What are those called in glorious Swedish? Tumlöd, right?
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Some sort of dolphin-ish kind of creature.
I mean, all that being said, I'm not sure how many ocean creatures you can realistically encounter that would actually be able to fight you on a boat.
No, but it could be fun just to have something to hunt for sport, or even
Perhaps.
just some sort of encounter out here. I noticed that swans spawn in the deep ocean, and perhaps that is not as it should be. Damn, son, we're raiding the coral reef. I don't know how to feel about that timer. How do y'all feel about the timer, All Wonders? Should we just remove it? Maybe not.
Probably not, right? I mean, we added it for a reason.
The reason being that it should be possible to prevent someone from taking them and fighting them over them.
Mm-hmm.
Colsey says it could be fun to find dead bodies out at sea around boat rubble, like a loot crate. Yeah, that could be fun. Maybe some sort of drift stuff, like driftwood.
Well, I mean, arguably, if anything, isn't what you really want something to navigate by? Like, I don't know, smaller islands.
Yeah, maybe. There are some, right?
Yeah, there are some.
Shipwrecks, ocean dungeons. That's a good one. We should definitely have ocean dungeons. Inside the mouth of the whale dungeon.
For sure, but I'm just saying that none of these, points of interest really add anything to navigate by.
Don't they? I mean, they add points to your map. Like, what do you imagine would help you navigate?
Something with a bit of area, rather than singular.
Right, like a specific type of ocean, or
I don't know. Again, perhaps smaller islands or something. Not sure.
ocean storm. Make it so you can bring some birds on a boat, and when you release them, they fly towards land. Albatross. Albatross is a good one. I saw there was a lot of excitement for birds in the chat before we started, so I'm glad you are as excited as I am, because we can spin that wheel forever. There are like red robins, and I don't even know what half of them are called in English, nor Swedish for that matter. When I was a kid watching nature documentaries, and by that I do not mean prawn, I mean actual nature documentaries, I never liked the ornithological ones. I always thought the bird episodes were shit. I had zero interest in birds. As an adult, I have more of an understanding for bird watching, but
But still perhaps somewhat limited.
yeah. I don't know why really, but there was Drunken Jacob says move world start after Easter. Yeah, if we could do things all over again, maybe that would have been a good idea. But as it stands, we're gonna have to go with it. Sorry if that.
We've been having some weird timing issues anyway.
Yeah, on account of various factors. So
Yeah,
we kind of want to pull this off, and
we had, I mean, to be quite honest, we had most of these changes ready like a month ago.
Yeah, we've been ready.
So it's been a bit of a filler arc since then.
Yeah, so we've been ready for a long time. Austin H20.
Hey, the Zoom.
Sorry. My view distance, sir. When will you fix my view distance? That's the real question. I wonder if I have any tar sticks on board. Can I check? No, I can't.
Not while moving, at least.
Who knows? I think I have, but I'm not sure.
I mean, you couldn't repair it on the high seas anyway.
No, but I could repair it when I reach the other shore. Biozen says, any update on fancy OCO stuff?
Not really. Like, to be honest, it's been mostly out of my scope since we started working on the reset and some related internal technical changes.
Yeah, and we got. Yeah, you did a little rewrite of because last World Reset we had some problems with the authentication server.
Yeah, it was quite overloaded.
Yeah.
So that was one thing, but there were also quite a number of internal changes during the whole of this year, pretty much to support the realm changes and stuff.
Drunken Jacob says, so some people will lose the best time of the world because they want to spend time with family. That's kind of retarded, not gonna lie. Well, I agree. So, for what it's worth, I agree. But I'm sorry. It's gonna have to be what it is. I'm not gonna change it now. So I agree. I agree that it was a bit unfortunate. We hadn't planned that or really thought about it. Satanic Chihuahua says, what is the limit of people who can connect simultaneously in the game?
I mean, there's no intrinsic limit, but I think we've felt that once the player count starts hitting 1,500 or so, the lags start becoming fairly real.
Yeah. But I think we, like, World 11, was it? We had the record of, like, 1,793 players or something to that effect.
Perhaps.
And I seem to imagine that at least being somewhat playable.
Yeah, but I think the lag was rather real, though.
Sure. Have you really been far even as decided to use even go want to do look more like? I cannot parse that question, sir. Big John, UK. Syntax error. So.
I have no idea what that means.
Me neither. Repair the boat. So let's we just sail across here, or just follow the coastline. Precursor says no changes to siege. Current siege gives. I think this is Shubla. No changes to siege. Current siege gives defenders 0 chance if they are not a major faction with strong fighters. Is the only way to get changes in this game to forcibly and publicly abuse mechanics by killing noobs until you change them. That is the usual way.
Well, I mean, there are some siege changes that we've been discussing but haven't reached any consensus on yet, but I do think at the very least that the changes to fast travel will have some impact on it.
Arguably they should have. So there's that. But other than that, I don't know, like...
I mean, one thing that I've been arguing for is to make Siege, just make Siege significantly slower.
Yeah.
In order to make it more possible for a defender to organize a more organized defense, so to speak. But on the other hand, making Siege significantly slower has its own set of consequences, so to speak.
Yeah. So the argument the kind of pitch from your side was that Siege should take like a long time.
Yeah, indeed.
Days.
I mean, like the thing is, as it currently stands, if the defender can't organize a defense, it's more or less possible to breach his walls in a day.
Yeah.
And my argument would be that it shouldn't really be possible for a far longer time than that, so that it would be possible to, again, organize a defense, I guess. But like I said, making siege significantly slower has other consequences as well, so I'm not really sure what that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the obvious counter-argument is that it makes the affair kind of a boring one.
Well, boring aside, I think the main problem is that, if siege machines can't move for 2 days, you can start walling them in or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it would create a very big mismatch between because there are kind of two time scales going on there.
Mm.
Like there's the local time in which Hearthlings move, and then there would be like the siege time, which is very slow, and that would, I don't think those would mesh particularly well. So there's
that's where we're at least, I guess.
that's where we're at. Night Dog OG says, when are you removing global pools? I think he's referring to like
Your pools?
yeah, bloated bullets and
Are they even a problem?
yeah, I don't know. I think the argument was that they favor bots for some reason. I don't really know why. That was the argument.
Well, I mean, that argument could be made for foraging in general. We've been discussing from time to time whether something should be done about foraging in general, but I don't think we've had any great ideas on what those changes would entail.
They very much are for things like pearls, especially. So I don't know. I'm not wed to the idea of global pools. I mean, they were introduced as a kind of, in hindsight, kind of lame anti-botting measure, I suppose.
For sure, you could argue that.
So if they run contrary to that purpose, then maybe they should arguably be removed. I'll make a note of it. Maybe remove global pools. I suppose the argument would be that the bot can always just log in and always be ready to pick when the picking is good for some reason, or
I don't think that's the thing, though.
I don't know. Why do they help bots? Because normal
Well, I
players.
mean, I guess it would just be because bots are picking all the time, quite simply.
Right. So, but I don't know. I've never had any problems. I haven't found any pearls, but I haven't been boiling a lot of mussels either. So, let's see. Should at least make global pools not full on world start, so the first ones to see the thing get 1 million of them and empty the pool. It's an
I don't
argument.
think that's the thing at all. In that case, I start getting the feeling that he's talking about wonders, but that's already been fixed, surely.
Mutable God asks, when will you create an anti-cheat so the game can be shipped to a bigger audience?
No, that's the real question,
That's a
isn't
real
it?
question.
I mean, to be honest though, is an anti-cheat really even something that Haven would be gainful for Haven?
I don't know what cheats you'd like to see removed there.
Indeed.
I suspect he's making a reference to bots or I don't know, the usual. No indicator. Why do you start New World when there are Easter holidays? It would be better to start the New World 1 week later. Why do I need to choose between my family and game? That's a real question, isn't it? But because we didn't factor that in, I suppose.
Yeah. that's the simple answer for sure.
Yeah.
We didn't realize that it coincided with Easter until too late.
Yeah. So we apologize, but that being said, we've been putting this off for a long time. So
yeah.
We kind of feel that, and we put it in the video as well, and kind of decided on it. And this stream has been timed to coincide with 2 weeks from the announcement. So I'm kind of loath to change it at this junction. Let's see. There were other questions here. I'm sure of it. I'll start World 14 after Easter. That could be fun. Turns out that all our changes are complete train wrecks, and we need to reset the world. Cozy TV says, could you change the color of the deep ocean tiles to be slightly darker in game? Custom clans do this, but it would be good for default. Sure.
I don't think that's really possible though, at least not in a way that works graphically.
Is it?
And we've been talking about this multiple times.
Right. Right, because the fog is a different color? Or
No, because the fog is not calculated in such a way that it would work well with.
How do the customs handle it then?
I have no idea. I haven't seen that. Perhaps it's just ugly. That would be the usual solution.
That would be the usual solution. It has literally been done in like 4 different clients. Lol. All right. Custom client makers should write Loftar as hot coding tips. All right. How much years will exist the game? What happens to game if a meteorite splash use? Asks Satanic Chihuahua.
Hmm? What?
He asks for the longevity of Haven, I think. How long will Haven be around? If a meteorite kills me, if I die randomly in a horrible accident, how long will Haven be around?
I mean, in that case, I guess it would be around until the server crashes.
Presumably.
Quite simply.
Yeah. We've not really discussed this in any serious way. We've only talked about it on and off. I think if either of us were to die, I think that would be catastrophic for the game. So maybe I think you could do a better job of it without me than I could without you. But,
Probably, but it wouldn't be good for sure.
yeah, it would not be good. Artemis WHB asks, will there be any weather effects like rain or fog?
And we've certainly been discussing that lately.
Yeah, that's come up a couple of times recently as things that we, but it's the usual question, I suppose, of what they're actually supposed to do. Hey, there's
Exactly.
there's a snake here.
Let's steal stuff.
Fine, let's find stuff. I found some things. Vocabulary is important. Important what terms we use. Will we get fixed wipe dates every year? No, we will not.
Because they not. Because I don't think that's fun for anyone, honestly.
No, I don't think so either. I wish I could talk more about it in between rounds, so to speak. I wish we could be more candid about what our plans are, because I kind of don't like, being all clandestine about when we do research.
For sure, but nevertheless, I don't think.
But we can't really talk about it,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
if we do, it ruins a lot of things. Because inevitably, if we even breathe world reset before we're actually ready to announce it, then
Everyone stops playing.
everyone stops playing. So yeah. Aussie Wonder Child asks, is the meteorite going to get some other purpose if it's removed from level 9?
That is not the intention.
No specific one that was planned, but they already give pretty high quality iron, and so that's one reason to contest for them. And they provide some unique crafts as well. So those are
reasons.
Those are reasons, at least. If those are important enough, could perhaps be argued back and forth. But I don't know. There were a lot of critiques of. I don't know if I have an opinion on it, but I've heard several people, notably Snail perhaps, complain about the meteorites. I think Snail had a rant about why they were bad. Please don't wipe. I'm just going to sail away from that person. We don't talk to no wipers. Robertson says, add vaccinations in game. I can't wait.
I can't wait, indeed.
I'm super excited for that one. Artemis asks, will there be any changes to stat gaining? For example, not punishing the player for eating, something the top nerds can get around anyway.
I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean more exactly.
No, I think you'll have to be more specific. Bingo time. Is it John Paul II?
I think so, right?
It must mean it's a Polish player. That's funny. Nice boats, sir. The terribly big boats you have there, sir. Ardens TV says, close the old render branch for launch. I think that's a troll on his part, probably. Yeah. What do you think?
So it sounds like something Shovla would say.
Yeah.
That being said, I mean, we will close it sooner or later.
Yeah, it's going to get closed hopefully before the end of the year at least.
Mhm.
So we will be closing it.
There is quite a bit of extraneous maintenance on those resources for sure.
Yeah. So we're kind of excited to see them go.
Mhm.
I don't know where you guys are at. If there are any like functional customs that you are happy with that run the new rendering client, but well, I have implored everyone for the last couple of patch notes to get with the new rendering times. So
Yeah.
please do. Mutable God says seriously close render batch. Yeah, we probably should.
At this point, I guess we just thought it would be nice to let everyone start out the world with whatever client they wanted.
Yeah, I don't think the world reset is the time to close it. I think we'll close it later. But yeah. Average Benny says make ship rotation animations smoother, please. That would be nice. But
That would be nice, but it's a larger change.
Tall order.
I mean, it would be related to more physically realistic movement, something that we've been talking about for a long time, but that has consequences that we're not sure how to handle mechanically, quite simply.
Yeah. TrollXH&H says, do you have any incentives for PvP plan following the removal of Meteor being necessary for level 9? I think there will be
I mean, to begin with, the meteorites were only necessary for level 9 this world.
Right.
So, to the extent that people fought over them at all prior to that, those reasons still remain.
I think it's safe to say that there will be new reasons for PvP in the world.
That too.
So
That is also true.
I think I can assure you that there will be
Indeed.
new reasons to engage.
I do indeed think that the realm changes will ensure that.
That is our belief. That is my firm belief, and I'm sticking to it. Big poggers! Nice. Zemtit69 says, can you generate World 13 map as an archipelago? It would make boating less cancer with more small islands between continents. Ocean islands are their own biome with birds and critters. That should be more of a thing. I had the same more unique biomes. I had the same experience when I did my little boat trip. Let's go cut these fraggers into gem dust. Craft, processing. Where is the other? Cut gemstone. This is a gem wheel that I found, so if someone recognizes it, no, I'm not giving it back. Turn all of these into dust. Let's see, a lot of questions here. Whale skulls useful when, for example, possibility to grind it into powder, curio gilding, just carving it into some cool looking chair, sofa, throne, like snail shell. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I mean, perhaps.
Splitting it into smaller pieces uses one material. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe those are good ideas. But see what I tell you. Gem dust. It's all dust. All has turned to dust. Let's see. Whale skull. Useful. Useful. Boom. Is lore part of fish detection, or is it just whale survival? I think lore is a part of the calculations in one way or another.
I thought it was just will.
I think lore matters. I'm not sure. I think lore matters for fishing, for some reason.
Will?
I'm not sure.
Nope.
Nope. Okay, maybe it should.
Should it?
Shouldn't it?
Not sure. Why should it?
Hey, I got the dawn breaking experience. That's
That's not every day.
That is not every day indeed. That is an omen. If I ever saw one, dawn breaking. We're gonna have a new world. It's gonna be awesome.
Indeed.
How it feels to waste 30 minutes to gather these gems and in the end get gem dust. I'm okay with it.
And you could make the case that it's kind of dumb to keep turning them into dust, though. But
Lacer says, Pew asks, will Credo Crest still ask for out of season stuff? Probably, but I think we've addressed most of the issues there, haven't we? Are there still a lot of?
I don't remember actually. I think we did something about that.
We have done something about it for sure. Huju says, you guys have never been good at your own game ever. Not true. I was good for several weeks when we started getting players.
I still brag about the fact that in the first World of Salem I was the first to erect a personal claim.
Oof. Boom. Yeah, no, I make no claims to being the most competent H&H player.
To be sure, but then again, none of us exactly play for competitive reasons to begin with.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that.
Proud LARPer.
Yeah. Let's see. Thoughts on boat quality affecting speed? In my opinion, it's pretty broken for PvP. I was cruising down laps around noobs this world, and if your boat is slower, there's literally nothing they can do aside from ditch their boat and go to land.
Well, I mean, that's the general problem with speed differences, isn't it?
It is.
Not really sure what to think about that, to be honest. That would be one of my main reasons for wanting to implement the previously aforementioned more physically realistic movement. But again, there are.
I mean, I suppose one thing we could do is to make the quality matter for like the seaworthiness meter instead.
I guess we could.
So
I guess we could. So we just remove that mechanic too.
Yeah. I kind of like the quality matters for the Knars. I don't really. If you guys have strong opinions on this, then we could certainly consider changing it. But I mean, speed differences are always going to be controversial for PvP.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is somewhat unfortunate because ideally I'd like it if players did not necessarily move at the same speed.
Indeed.
Did we
very
lose?
much so?
No, sorry. I was just building big time. Avaros says, why not add potatoes to the game? Because I feel that they run against the grain of the setting that we still somewhat try to cling to.
Indeed.
They are a new world crop.
Indeed.
We have only implemented pumpkins.
Quite simply.
So there's that. First time in my life, I gotta agree with Ozzy that you killed Meteor Event to useless shit, XD.
I mean, again, it was on the last world that meteorites mattered for that reason anyway, so.
Yeah, so useless shit. Maybe. There were a lot of arguments advanced that they mattered too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not necessarily against giving them new uses if that's the problem.
For sure.
But I think the ability to reach cave level 9 was a bit overpowered.
Indeed. And again, there's also the case to be made that I think the realm changes are going to make PvP more relevant.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Poas420 says, give us details about deeper layers, please.
Details?
I don't know what
Are there any details to be given?
I don't know if we have any to give you. Is there anything particular you're wondering? Aussie Wonderchild says, at least make Meteor higher average quality because it's still way worse than just getting good ore on 9.
Wait, we did do some change to Meteor quality in this world, didn't we? So that it's always lower than the highest.
It's lower, but it should still way easier sounds.
That does sound a bit weird.
That doesn't sound like.
If that's true, then if that's true, then that might be a bug.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like the design intention because I mean they were at least intended to lie pretty high up on the. They were made so that they would lie below top quality.
Originally, they were made to lie above top quality.
But in the recent change, we made it so that they were intended to lie slightly below top quality.
Yeah.
So if that's not what you're seeing, then that's a bug, or that's.
Indeed.
Leprechaun's Pot says, bring longer winters back and winter content as well. I remember you shared your experience with Ularia where winter has its own playstyle as meaning. Yeah. I love Unreal World. It's a great game made by an indie Finnish developer and was one of the original inspirations for Haven, and I can't recommend that game enough. It's one of my my most beautiful computer game experiences, and I don't say that lightly. So I love that game, but it doesn't have a real life timescale.
Indeed.
So you can spend in URW, you can spend the winters sitting inside your log cabin crafting things, or spending them fishing, and just watch the hours run past you or flow by. You can't do that in Haven. So in URE you can basically accelerate the time scale. We can't do that here. So I think that is the reason why URE type style gameplay won't work for Haven. And that was...
That being said, longer winters would be nice to bring back, but...
Yeah. It would. But... yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's that. Talk about realm and travel changes. Talk about realm and travel changes. Talk about realm and travel changes, says Mighty Chief.
I think we've said that which needs to be said on that, right? Not sure, there are many more details that we'd like to...
No. I think it's gonna... I understand why you want to hear about them, and
Oh, for sure.
There's definitely a case to be... We debated this back and forth between ourselves, how much we should say about these changes.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we arrived at the conclusion that we were confident that they were good.
Indeed.
And for that reason, I think
it's more fun to leave it for discovery.
Yeah, exactly. So if we're wrong, then we're wrong in a big way. But if we're right, then it'll be much more fun. So
Indeed.
For us, not to say the least.
I mean, that being said, we could perhaps repeat what we've already said for the newcomers to the stream.
Feel free to.
Not sure what we did say though. I mean, for one thing, the intention with Realm, one of the main intentions with Realms is to make Realm expansion a lot more dependent on PvP rather than resources.
Yeah.
And resources should virtually not really even be a thing at all in Realm expansion, I think.
Yeah.
So that's one thing.
So it should not be about autistically, for all of those of you playing the bingo, I said it, grinding or you're running flax bots to build infinite border kills.
And
that mechanic is going well.
The trailer hints of this.
Yeah. So you do the math, but I'm sure you can figure it out. Like, it's not... I'm sure you can figure most of it out if you pay attention. But we're not... Yeah, we're confident that the changes are at least a step in the right direction. So it should be a lot more about PvP and a lot less about resources. For fast travel, again, we can restate that it's going to be more accessible. It's going to be a lot more accessible. So, and we're going to... It's going to be good. I'm... No joke, I'm more excited about this World Reset than I've been about any World Reset for a long time.
Yeah, that's actually not a joke. I'm really looking forward to seeing how these changes play out.
Yeah,
I'm fairly sure it's going to be good.
Yeah, as am I. And I think, I mean, bold statements, famous last words.
Yeah, famous last words for sure.
True,
for sure.
To be sure. But we're pretty excited. I'm excited to see how it's going to play out at the very least. So.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Maz Elwin says, any way to make animals not a pain in the ass to hunt during the first few weeks of the world, you always need a good sword to one-shot them before they run.
So you just want to one-shot animals, right?
Hunting being fun, i.e. let me one-shot animals.
That doesn't sound like the vision for hunting that I would share.
No, me neither.
That being said, again, the animal AI could certainly be improved, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Aussie Wonder Child says, what's the point of the stream if you guys not reveal literally anything?
Yeah,
we ask ourselves that as well.
To be quite honest.
But showing the trailer at the very least was a good reason to have it. And just talking with you guys, I suppose, is the reason as well.
Yeah, and it's just, if nothing else, it can't just be an ordinary dev stream quite simply.
Exactly. You can see our beautiful faces. And
but yes, to be sure, we joked amongst ourselves before the stream too that we didn't really have much to say about the reset.
Yeah. So there's that. We'll keep it on most of these changes under wraps. So Robertson asks, will monthly streams be a thing again at Bruderbona? I've promised them, so I'll call it. I'll go out on a limb and commit some time here and say that with this stream we return to regular broadcast. I'm going to do one a month. I'll promise to do it. So, but it's been, I think it was good to take a break from it. I was kind of, I don't know why, but I didn't feel like it. And yeah. So, but they were always fun when I did them, but I had like, I never really looked forward to it. So, but it's fun when I do them, but they give me some pause in the meantime. Trollex Agent H says, would you say that the realm changes make having a big realm overpowered enough to make people care enough to contest each other? I don't know.
I don't think it changes much in that particular way.
But aren't realms kind of overpowered as it is?
That's what I've heard from time to time, at least.
That's what I've heard as well. So. Poas asks, have you considered adding content to the world before a reset? Changes are cool, but this is just the same shit in a different, smoother toilet. There are a lot of changes, like, I don't know. New content. There's going to be some amount of new content as well. So you could always ask for more, I suppose.
But that being said, it's also true that new content isn't really something that is necessary to do during a reset.
No, that's.
I mean, we tend to do them outside of resets instead.
I mean, some content needs to be added.
For sure.
Around a reset, but yeah.
For sure.
What new content? Well, we'll leave that for you to discover. It'll be more fun that way. I promise. I assure you. Water working system in villages when? Yeah, full-on fluid simulation for the map.
Right. That being said, I mean, water working doesn't necessarily have to mean terraforming. It could be aqueducts or pipes or whatever.
For sure. I don't know. Would that be fun?
Not sure
water
how much
wheels
fun that would actually be, though, but...
Water wheels could perhaps be fun?
Perhaps.
I don't know. Do you find that the windmill is a great aid to you? Because I've been grinding on the quern. I don't know about you guys, but I use the quern. I don't want to miss out on them uncrushed husks. I want to uncrushed husk max. New Bird Weekly asks a question that I'm not gonna answer. Reformulate that in a non-erotic way, and I may answer it. I hope realms be more like a torches, which have at least no light power on the outskirts, on its borders, and are easy to bite in the outskirts, not in the main city. I think the argument is that he wants the realms to be easier to assault around the edges of the realm, for some reason.
Right. Well, I think it's safe to say, at least, that the realm changes will make it easier to challenge an existing realm.
Yeah.
I think that's a safe statement to make.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Look, the whole goon squad is here.
Right.
Can you kill me? I could, but let's see what...
Could you, even though with this armor?
Probably not. Devs suck. Ain't that the truth? And turnips. We heard you like turnips. That was quick action on the turnips, guys. I started harvesting these just minutes ago, and they've already brought the big turnips. And here we have, he's got the mountaintop on, pirate captain. Oh damn, son, what's he even doing?
Oh right, it's all the crimes.
All right, there, he's crime maxing. And he's got I don't recall what that one's called, but it's a shao pad. Oh right, he's got the bloodlust.
It took me a while too.
No, it took me a while. I've never seen that. He's bloodlust maxing.
Is it supposed to be off-center like that though? I don't recall.
Might be a problem with the UI scaling thing.
It could be, but it could also be intentional. I'm not sure, to be honest.
Salem Darkness in World 13. Wouldn't that
I think this was a forum trend quite recently.
Right on. What were the main key takeaways from the forum thing?
Well, I mean, the thing I argued in the thread was quite simply that darkness as it worked in Salem doesn't really work in Haven since there's a day-night cycle here.
Yeah.
But that being said, I've
both cooked.
That being said, I've long wanted to add some sort of similar mechanic at least.
Yeah.
In terms of more wild wilderness somehow. I just haven't reached a conclusion yet on something that actually seems nice.
Look, I got a follower.
You got a passenger.
It's awesome. It's awesome. That's my guitar. Says Daka. When will the game become open source? The client already is. Look, a drownee.
Drowning, indeed.
The client already is open source. I think if I die, feel free to make the game open source if that is.
I think we've discussed that if we ever do abandon the game,
Yeah.
we'll probably open source it.
Yeah. So if we ever feel done with it, then we'll probably open source it. Open source it. Mighty Sheep asks the relevant questions. The Raccoon says, "Will Troll Dungeon be a thing?"
I don't think troll dungeons are at the top of the list of dungeons.
No, it's not the top priority. I think
we do have a couple of other dungeon types that we've been discussing with some hype.
Yeah. How do I quality max my thing?
MKX Q_quality.
How do I do that with stupid English?
How about you set your keyboard to whatever it's right for you and stuff.
Or Swedish Q quality.
And then the quality.
What's the highest number I can get?
10,000 or something perhaps.
1,000 maybe.
Sure. I think that should max out your speed anyway.
Well, catch me now. There we go.
I think that's another bingo title, by the way. Cheating at
Cheating at the game.
Yep.
45 Chris 2 says, "I love this game so much. Please ban Mighty Sheep from the game." Wish granted. He is now banned. My dear developer friends, please let me make many kinds of fruit drinks. Why can't I even make a bottle of lemon juice?
We actually discussed that only recently, didn't we?
Maybe we did. What was the arguments for, against, pros, cons?
Not sure, to be honest. But generally speaking, I think we have better abilities to add more drinks these days. Quite simply.
Yeah. How do you all feel about drinks? How are drinks treating you these
Yeah,
days?
that's a good question.
Are they useful? Or too useful, or bad, or are you guys doing your yearly food fep satiation rework?
No, I actually don't think so. As far as I'm concerned, I think this current system has worked out really well.
That's been my experience as well.
Not sure if others have contrary opinions.
If you have particular issues you'd like to see addressed, then I'm certainly my ears are open. I will listen to arguments, but I've been happy about how it's played out for me. Arguably, I mean, I'm a nub, so. But from the rare occasions that we've tried to do any data mining on it, we haven't been appalled by what we've seen.
Indeed.
So, food is good. Drinks are useful, but not too OP. Pretty balanced at the moment, in my opinion, says Trolix. So I trust Trolix's opinion.
Sounds good.
That's a pretty fast. That's a pretty fast one. He's got going on there.
For sure.
Check 182. Oh.
Most of chat seems to be fairly happy with food, as far as I can tell.
Food is best in many worlds. Yeah, that's been my experience as well.
Indeed.
So I'm glad that at least someone shares that opinion.
Indeed. Someone thinks drinks are too weak.
Right. There we go. Rare golden slime spawn, please. Thank you. Certainly, food is shit. Let us suck milk out of cows if we are thirsty. FEP rework. None planned. If you have particular issues that you'd like to see addressed, then feel free to. consider, or feel free to state them, and I will consider them.
Indeed.
Let's see. I've never played the game before. How difficult would you say it is to get into it? I don't know.
It's quite hard for us to tell.
Yeah, I have no ideas. Honestly, I have no idea.
We are beyond the point of home blindness by this point.
We've been with this game for a long time, so I have no idea how Fresh Eyes would view it. Which arguably maybe like I should know how Fresh Eyes would view it. Maybe
for sure, but it's kind of difficult too.
Yeah. But like maybe I should give it to a noob and watch how they play or what mistakes they make or whatever. But I haven't done that, so my bad perhaps. But I don't know. Like to me, it's very easy to pick up. But you're asking the wrong person. I think we did touch upon like doing a rewrite of the tutorial a while back.
Right.
And that would be a worthy cause, I think. Because the tutorial is kind of dated, or the early game quests.
For sure. It just also seems like one of those changes that just makes no one happy. But
yeah,
that's perhaps easy to say when you're only looking at established players too, I guess.
For sure. You guys, you are overestimating public care about Realms. It is only a few factions' annual headache. The actual Realms gameplay is boring and poor. Need to add a lot of updates to make it interesting and worthy of fighting.
Well,
we
have made a lot of changes.
We have made a lot of changes to them, so they will work differently. And I agree that the gameplay that we've seen from Realms in the past couple of worlds has been lackluster.
I do think we've addressed most of those things, though.
I think so too. I think most of the obvious problems that we've had, I think, won't be. We will at least have a new set of problems at the very least.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think we will be seeing the same problems. So. It's quite simply. Infinity Merlin says remove speed buffs.
Speed buffs? What speed buffs?
The ones you run across.
Oh, those speed buffs, right. There may be a case to be made. I mean, they didn't exactly have the impact that we envisioned they would have.
No.
So perhaps they are redundant.
Maybe. I don't know. I kind of still think, don't they add some element of gameplay to the pursuit game? Like, I mean, at the very least, the person who's being pursued has some sort of option to outrun his pursuers. I mean, isn't that something? Isn't that worth something? Isn't that a good thing? Like, I don't know. Robertson says, what season will New World start off with? Likely summer.
Yeah, likely summer. I think very likely summer.
Summer is the kind of default season. So I would be very surprised. Let's see. Any new animals being added?
None with the reset.
None with the reset. None right now. But I mean,
again, that's not really the kind of thing we'd normally add with the reset.
Yeah, unless you count the 10 new birds that I've added.
Yeah, well, apart from that, obviously.
That one without saying, I suppose. Quia342 says, I don't think masters of game systems and figures know how much amazing potential this game has. Thank you, I'm flattered. I think it has a great deal of potential as well. Hopefully we will realize some of it.
Eventually.
It's had a lot of potential for 10 years now. But the game's going to make it, so we're not worried.
There is no defeatism around here for sure.
No, this is not a trail of tears. This is not a caravan of misery. Dakan says, any new LARP materials? Faux show, dog. No, dog. No. Need not doubt it. There will be new trees, and there will likely be new minerals as well. So
Indeed.
I think those are.
Did we mention the new LARP materials with the credos?
We haven't.
Like,
what new LARP materials?
Forget it. That was what I was wondering.
You saw nothing. Zentit says, regarding ship speed, don't you think it's a bit retarded that Knars can traverse tiny island rivers? Maybe make boat speed only relevant in oceans.
I mean, not sure, to be honest. I think it is one of the historical things about Knors that they were quite capable of traversing rivers.
Yeah, historically. So
when we had galleons, we'll consider that again for sure. But
galleons would be sweet.
To be sure, that would certainly be an object control object thing, though.
Yeah.
Because when we come to adding galleons, they will certainly be of the kind that you can simply walk on.
Yeah. Look, I found another boat here.
That's not the usual thing to find, is it?
No, you find them here and there, but usually by abandoned bases and stuff. You have to wonder what happened there. Did he just log out in the middle of the ocean and then never play again? It's possible. Many such cases.
Indeed.
So let's see. Make us able to kiss our homies. There already is a kiss in the notes, so wish granted. It is already possible. Average Betting says maybe some information system for the public markets. Market Stance API.
I don't think so. I mean, to the extent that that should be a thing, I think it's quite reasonable that it is done in the way that it is currently being done. I don't mind that at all. I don't really see why there should be an official way to do that.
Right.
I don't know if you feel differently about that, but
I have no feelings on this matter. It has never come up. I've never thought.
I mean,
about
you've
it.
seen the.
I've seen it. It's beautiful. It's a work of beauty.
For sure.
I don't know if you guys know about it, but apparently there's some market bot thing which kind of aggregates information from in-game markets and basically.
And I don't see why we should destroy his business with
exactly.
some official API.
He seems to be doing fine, so I think you can work that problem out yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, that's emergent behavior right there.
Exactly. It's going to be the next new thing with the non-fungible tokens, non-fungible tokenized haven trades, and it's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
Zentit69 says, any changes to quest givers? I feel that you're fishing for something, like you have some change to quest givers that you want to see. So maybe ask your question instead of because no.
Yeah, we haven't made any changes to quest givers. At least
not to give you orders or imperatives, but it's I don't know what you're really asking here. No. What changes would you like to see to quest givers? Nibura says, could you give some info on object control object timeline? Most of the community expected it to launch with W13.
Mm-hmm.
I
guess that is because you've written about it in every last patch, right?
Yeah, it's been on my patch list.
As I said earlier, though, the object control objects have kind of been pushed out of my horizon lately because of all the other changes related to the update, rather.
Yeah.
So I actually haven't been actively working on that for some time now.
Check this out. This was cool.
Indeed.
It's a pyramid. For Thaluthu, Lost at Sea. Damn, son, it's beautiful.
Mm.
Do I have any beetroot leaves are not flowers?
Indeed. as would perhaps be expected.
A controversial opinion: organic matter should decay when washed into the ocean. Like, I should not be picking up smoked squirrel off of the beach and it's fine. Just washed up on the beach. And it's still good. There's no worries. You can still eat that. Zentit69 says, there is no way that any bigger pyramid has ever existed in this game.
I think he's referring to Dakan's pyramid.
I suspect so. Dakan says, angry smiley face. Pet slimes for all, it's good food. My favorite smoked food was smoked seagull.
Indeed.
I thought that sounded very appetizing. Do they have that in the UK? The UK is the go-to place for weird food, isn't it? Fried Mars bars, but maybe that's more Scotland.
Indeed.
The best thing
Which
about
is of course the UK, but
the best thing about England is Scotland.
Indeed.
Kidding, it was a joke. Berthaden says, remove alchemy potions that heal pepper wounds. That's an interesting topic.
Well, I mean, we did fix that though, didn't we?
Didn't we just fix it by way of adding diminishing returns?
No, we fixed it so that they heal exceedingly slow by alchemy.
Right.
Like exceedingly slow.
Right.
So I'm.
Yeah, that's true. We did change that. I don't know, how have you tried it? It's fine now, actually. It says blech. So, yeah, Snail says, it's slower, but it's annoying to drink a potion after every time you eat.
Harsh.
Let's see. Add stargazy pie. What would a stargazy pie be? How would that work? What's going on? Oh, those are all the ridges, right?
Oh, right, it's one of those places.
It's a pretty intense ridgification going on here.
I generally don't mind that, though. It just tends to look a bit ugly on the mini-map.
Yeah, I think it looks okay at least in game. I mean, it does look like a kind of a mountainish.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that is an exotic cave. Because you could probably enter that cave, right?
Yeah. I mean, that was one of the things we changed and fixed in the map generator last time round.
Let's see if I can actually get in there. Can I pass here? No, I can't. Damn. I knew it. Knew it. Yeah, I'm gonna jump there. There you see, he dropped his animation.
Really?
Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw that. Never seen it myself, though.
Oh. Again. Boom.
Huh.
There's a bug, sir.
There is indeed.
There's a bug in your code. And we get an experience as well. Damn. Should probably add more cave stuff. It's always, or at least somewhat anticlimactic entering a cave, isn't it? Should do more stuff here.
I don't know. I think.
Oh damn, boreworms. Boreworm.
I do think there's a case to be made that caves should be somewhat sterile.
Sure. Can I take that thing off? Can I? Hopefully without aggroing the bats.
Yeah, the bats are the dangerous thing here.
He dodged
I get
that.
it.
He dodged that. He didn't dare fight me. Berthaden says, any chance to remove cheesing trolls in the cave lakes with a boat? I didn't know about that exploit.
Well, I'm not surprised either, though, I guess.
Well, what makes you say that? Because that was a way you could exploit them, so therefore they are being exploited.
Indeed.
Did I lose my boat now? I'm being plundered. I am being plundered. These bastards are stealing my stuff. Dang.
And destroying your boat.
Bastards. Yeah, you're messing with the wrong person, sir. I know, Captain. Come on, you fucker, take me down. Dr. Marvin asks, aren't you going to make a metal shield?
I think the problem with shields right now is that they don't really do anything that can be really meaningfully distinguished between them, right?
Yeah,
That should be changed.
for sure. But yeah,
But it is the current problem.
they do have some intrinsic armor though, so I suppose metal
I
shields
guess.
could
I
have.
guess. I guess.
So I suppose metal shields could have more ODAT. Uncle Ish says, whoa, new world coming. Very exciting news to me, but I must know, what is the state of these subscriber hats? I have dreams of big beers, man, topper, and large exposed cranium. What if some new subscriber hats will have these visual powers as well? Subscribe to this game today. Have I forsaken the new hats? I should wait until New World? Will New World have new hats? I sit and wait and ponder these questions for all of my days. Please free me from this burden of wonder.
Oh, Ish.
You're a great fun man, Ish. What did we do last world? We gave everyone who subscribed both hats, right?
I don't actually remember right now.
We'll do whatever we did last world. So we'll do whatever we did last world. Me sailing up a waterfall, no issues there. It was a very strong wind.
It would be really nice with visual waterfalls, though.
Yeah. It would be awesome if there were an actual waterfall here.
Yep.
Go through vortex. Is there a vortex nearby that I can go through? Ivars says, will it be possible to dig a lake or pool in your game?
Oh, right, no.
Quick on the trigger there.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things that we've discussed countless times.
It's not on the top of our priority list. It's a difficult thing to do, because simulating water is.
Well, I mean, not only that, but it has game mechanical implications too. I mean, you really want your enemies to be able to divert a river into your village.
Sure. True. Yeah, it has a lot of unobvious game mechanical implications. So I think there's a vortex right here. Let's go through it. I think there are good reasons to leave water impossible to terraform.
Indeed, at least for now.
Haha, I drained the ocean, everyone. Exactly. That would not be fun. Boom. Where did we end up? We have no idea.
We indeed have no idea.
Are the followers brave enough to follow, or did we pass through a wormhole and lose them? And do not have the cojones to sail through the vortex. Leprechaun's Pod says, handmade cliffs, when?
Well, that's perhaps a better question, at least.
Yeah.
Not sure where we landed in that discussion last time we had it.
We haven't discussed it in a long time.
Well, we actually haven't.
That used to be top of my mind back in the days, but I haven't thought about it for a long time. I suppose there should be some mechanic by which you, like, I don't know, packed dirt or something in some more qualified fashion in order to accomplish an actual ridge. So I suppose there should. I mean, it shouldn't just be shoveling more dirt.
No, indeed.
Make a ridge.
Indeed. I mean, the last time we discussed it, we were talking in terms of I don't know what the term would be, but some kind of rampart that you could pack dirt against or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And that would be cool, but I think it would be, I don't know, it seems like there are a lot of mechanical intricacies in formulating that in a good way.
I think that would work. I think the greater question is perhaps what kind of mechanical implications it might have if you could build arbitrary ridges, if that might have some negative implications for PvP or whatever. I'm not sure.
No, I'm not convinced. Entering the old mill. Anyone know about the old mill? It seems to be owned by someone still. That's a pretty nice village item.
For sure.
Blue and some purple, and then a white and black cool flag.
Indeed.
Dang, they follow us.
That looks like a fairly damaged Knorr, though.
Yep. Took a beating for sure. Break their car. I should. Just eat it. Eat it right now.
What is that on the sale?
The burger.
Oh, it's a burger, right.
Hamburger. With ham on it. Let's see. Yeah, you guys should definitely make trolls cave in when you are boat fighting them. There will still be ways to cheese them, but definitely more annoying than this one. 100% safe and effort-free. Trolls should destroy their own cave-ins when they're stuck so they don't spam the cave-ins forever because of blocking themselves. Those are good notes. Trolls blocking themselves with cave-ins and cheesing trolls with boats. Oh. Yes, I will be your king. Nakan says it's an Arby's roast beef sandwich. Okay. I stand corrected.
Indeed.
Barrel racks when? Asks Ricky Rio. And I suppose log piles would be the next reasonable request in the same vein.
Oh, right.
Or, stacks of logs.
Yeah. I know about it.
Yeah. How do you feel about those? Any thoughts?
I feel like that's. I'm honestly not sure. I mean, barrel. They are different thing. I think different things to begin with.
Okay.
I think barrel racks could be an object control objects thing.
Sure. But not
conceivably, at least.
Not log piles or not log stockpiles.
I mean, piling logs is not something that would be done with some sort of controlling object, so to speak. I mean, that sounds more like arbitrary physics.
I mean, it could be.
Like, it could be, but
I mean, it could.
At that point, it's not log piles. It's some sort of log rack.
Sure, but I mean, a storage object for logs could be a thing. Right?
I mean, all that being said, I also think there's a case to be made that perhaps real estate should matter.
Sure, but they only want it to matter slightly less.
Yeah, indeed. Is this the point where I trigger another bingo time by saying slippery slope?
Oh, exactly. Will you update subhats before wipe will happen? We will be updating them.
I don't think it matters. I don't think the specific point in time that we update them should matter very much, should it?
No, it shouldn't. But we'll be doing the same thing we did last reset. Let's see. Let's see. Dig deeper changes to support smaller villages and non-realms to reach a reasonable quality. Is there any change?
Reasonable quality here?
What is reasonable? Is reasonable just a relative measure? Is reasonable just cheaper, quite simply, because I don't want to make it cheaper. So.
Yeah.
I think, realms are supposed to have an upside, and I think that is a reasonable upside for realms to have, I think.
I tend to think so too.
I don't know, you guys missed the increased speed bonus when pursuing small critters from the Forager Credo. This is the most abused one in the game, probably, especially for PvP. I think we did remove that one, though.
I'm actually not sure. I remember discussing it at length. I don't actually remember what the.
I'm not sure if my change log is incorrect, but we'll get rid of that one. I think maybe we left it in on the argument the Forager was the first and easiest.
Yeah, I think that may have been the argument.
I don't necessarily mind if there's some skill to be had in using the terrain to your advantage, etc., like a skill advantage that you can have in using little critters to outrun your enemies or whatever. But I don't know. How do you feel about it? I mean, don't get me wrong. It is a bit of a strange mechanic.
I mean, I remember us also discussing just making it so that it's disabled in combat or whatever.
Yeah.
So that could also be an alternative.
Yeah. Robertson asks, any chance you could post fully generated World 12 map picture on forums later? Could we do that?
I'm sure we could.
Would you want to do
that?
I
guess I'm just a bit surprised that that the public maps aren't complete.
Aren't the public maps complete, guys? No, I don't swear you're a damn oath of allegiance. Zenta69 says, you guys said you were very confident about the new changes. For reference, can you tell us another change you made in the past that you were very confident about so we can measure how worried to be? Interesting way of formulating it. I don't know.
Not sure, to be honest, if I can actually even think of one.
No, I mean, most changes we make are,
to be sure, but most changes we make are also smaller.
Yeah, definitely. When was the last time we made a big, major change that we were this confident about? This is a long time, truth be told.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
say
if
so
I have.
too.
So I'm not sure if that increases or decreases your level of worry. But
Indeed.
I mean, you probably should worry. Like, I mean, we make a lot of mistakes, but this one I feel good about. So
Yep.
I'm not like I want to see how it plays out at the very least.
Indeed.
So, and if it works the way we think it will work very well. So, but I mean, you tell me. But I think it's going to be fun, and I think it's going to be fun to explore it. I think it'll be more fun for you to explore it for yourselves than it will be if I tell you what.
Indeed.
So it's your fun that we're considering here. Minor Maddie says, I'll definitely play World 13. Thanks for everything what you're doing. This game is amazing and also helped me survival a few lockdowns. Cannot wait for in April to see what you prepare for us. Thanks again. Thank you, Minor Maddie. Those are very kind words. High praise. Very, very, very grateful for that. Means a lot. The kind words do. We don't take the harsh ones to heart, but the kind ones we do try to take to heart. Colsey TV says, so we're effed. So we're fucked. No, I honestly don't think that you're fucked. Like, I don't know what the arguments against these changes would really be. So.
Indeed, and I guess it's also safe to say at least that they were for sure inspired by community feedback.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, make of that what you will. But if
someone will probably recognize
yeah,
what has been done.
Yeah, definitely. So, but yeah, if it's a train wreck, it's a train wreck, I guess. But I don't think it will be. So. I'm very excited. I can't underscore that enough. So I suggest bring your friends. It's gonna be fun. I think I can guarantee you that much. It's gonna be a different experience for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be very different, I think. So
I think so too.
I think it's the most significant change that we've made.
With a reset?
Since like adding oceans or whatever.
I mean, arguably this is bigger.
Arguably this is bigger than adding oceans. So. Need more info for our hype. Well, you're not getting it, sir. I have none to give. So make of it what you will. Let's see. Do you think I'm on the same continent? Could I trace my way back here? Maybe we'll try it. Like maybe if I round the. You see what I'm saying? Maybe if I sail around here, maybe I'll find known ocean. Will World 13 early game be faster, slower, the same? It'll be different.
It will be different indeed.
I think a lot of things are going to be faster. Creators are obviously going to be faster because we went high hog on the leniency. Have you ever seen such leniency from us before?
That's one thing, but I do think the fast travel changes are also going to affect things. So, and yeah, I think probably faster. There are some things that are going to be slightly slower as well, probably, but generally I think it's going to be a faster ride this time around. So, how many whales and trolls were killed this world? Do you know? That's something I can check, I guess. But I've been having some I/O trouble with querying the database lately.
Let's not crash anything. That's a bingo tile that we don't need to.
Indeed.
What would a bingo square? Do you call it a square or a tile? Is it a square or a tile? Is it a bingo square or a bingo tile, or is it a bingo something else? Square. It's a bingo square. I think it's a space. Budin is convinced that it is a square.
Mm-hmm.
Bingo brick. Bingo icosahedron. I don't even know what an icosahedron is.
Well, certainly not that.
No. How many players were killed? I'd like to give you the answer to these questions. Maybe we could.
Yeah,
I don't want to promise too much, but maybe we could do a fun.
Well, I do think I have a way to rectify these problems.
He has a way to rectify the problems. Anyone playing the bingo, manic writing was one of the tiles, squares, icosahedrons. Let's see. I think it's on Loftar. No, here we go. Excessive frantic mechanical keyboard tapping. Boom. Got that one covered. Impromptu European history facts. I've been reading the memoirs of Marshal Mannerheim recently.
Mm-hmm. Right.
The Marshal of Finland, the commander of the Finnish forces during the Finnish War of Independence, during the Winter War, and during the Continuation War. It's a very interesting read. I can highly recommend it. It's written right after the Second World War, so I suspect that Mannerheim in his writing is kind of holding back. I think there are a lot of things that he can't really talk about in terms of the policies that Finland had toward Nazi Germany during the war, and I think those subjects are probably still, because this is written in 1951, I think, or maybe 1950. So it's right before he dies and right after he's out of office, and so I don't think he's being 100% candid. I don't think he can be for political reasons, but it's nevertheless a very interesting read. And I think the things that he can be more candid about, like his experiences during the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia, for example, because he was a commander of the. Finland was a Grand Duchy under Russia after it was nefariously stolen from Sweden. Never forget, cry every time.
Indeed.
And in 1809.
I still cry.
Yeah, and after that it was under Russia, and so Mannerheim was. He was a Russian officer, a general lieutenant, I think, and he commanded troops during the First World War on the Bessarabian front and stuff. So and those experiences are and he was there was a picture of a famous picture from the coronation of Tsar Nicholas II, where Mannerheim is actually he's one of the guards. In front of the cortege of the Tsar when he's going to his coronation. Pretty cool. And so those experiences, the experiences he had with the political officers being introduced to the army after Kerensky's government came into power, etc. Those are all it's very fascinating to me. I can't recommend it enough. And I mean, so obviously. The whole Continuation War, Winter War is also interesting, but the Second World War is for nerds, so no one cares about that. It's not.
That is kind of the truth.
It is not interesting history, so
it's not totally uninteresting.
No, exactly. But it's kind of after the end of meaningful history. Anyway,
yeah, exactly.
So it's not.
Who cares?
Oof.
And you have some data though. What would you guess is the most killed animal during this World War?
I just want to add for the record that our dance TV said, Jesus Christ, SDF. Shut the fuck. I think that means he wants to hear more about this.
Go on then.
I should. So, give us some stats, brah.
Yeah, what would you guess is the most killed animal during this world?
Probably some small animal, like hedgehogs or something like that. No, squirrel.
Mind you, ringing necks doesn't count.
Okay. I don't know. No, it can't be hedgehogs because those are only on certain biomes. So I would toads maybe.
No, by far the number one killed animal is bats.
Really?
Yep.
That was I didn't suspect that. Okay,
by
bats.
550,000 killed bats this world.
55,000.
Yep.
555.
No, 551.
551 bats.
Yep.
Perished during the making of World 12.
And then after that comes ants.
Ants.
And only then comes oozes.
Oozes, number 3.
And actually, I'm quite surprised to see boars at number 4.
Boars, number 4. How many boars?
152,000 boars were killed.
152,000 boars have fallen.
That being said, then the requested information is 720 trolls have fallen.
720 trolls have been slain during the war.
And as for whales, it seems that 468 whales have been.
468 whales. The whaling fleet has brought in 468 whales.
Indeed, and the orcas are a wee bit above that at 570.
570 orcas.
And that being said, I'm also slightly surprised at seeing just how few of the tame animals have been killed in combat. Only 1 mare and 8 stallions have been killed.
Should be more shooting the horse from under people.
Indeed.
How many people have been killed? Do we know that?
I could probably find out. That being said, no, also not sure just how relevant that information is, given that most are probably
I don't know how. I don't know how much it matters how many boars were killed either.
Sure. I guess.
These are just for funsies. So anyway, getting back to Monaghan. Okay. Damn, I got the dryad experience. This is fun. This is great. Soy face. This is great. I've been almost completing Mystic, and I had experience crashing through the forest was one of the things I had to do. Woo! I have taken only recently Fisherman and Forge, so I haven't done one. But I was pretty close to Mystic. Catch the dragon, spruce cap. Yes, if someone brings me opium, I could perhaps do that. You should release all this on a thread. Probably, that would be a good thing. Good case. Zented69 says, will local resources still be bought, log in retard spots in World 13, or will you make them despawn and move?
I don't think we'll make them despawn and move. I don't think that would be the plan for anything that we do about that, right?
I don't know, I'm not really wed to any particular...
I mean, in that case, I'd be more likely to do something akin to, what are they calling it, beanstalks?
Right.
Also, I'm again not sure just how bad the local resources work. I mean, I have had no great trouble collecting them this world, just like every previous world, to be honest.
No, but oh, right. No, yeah. Right. I thought he was talking about quality nodes. No, sorry, my bad. Okay, so you're talking about like salt basins and such. Indeed. Okay. I don't know. What would be a good change to avert that? Like, how could we? If there's some good way of making them less like bot friendly, then I'm all ears. Like, make them despawn and move. I think like we added them to provide points for local geographical conflict. I think they are too common to fill that purpose.
Indeed.
So I think that purpose has not been fulfilled. So with that said, I suppose that at least some of them could be made to despawn and move. That being said, like, I've played a fair amount, to be sure. I've played a fair amount in latter parts of the game, or latter parts of the world. But I have had no trouble finding local resources. Perhaps not at quality, and perhaps that is what matters, but they are actually fought over for the first few weeks. Wouldn't it make sense for ocean world resource spots to float around and geysers to move, root trees to rot away and respawn elsewhere? Perhaps for some of them, like, I mean, I think, icicles maybe could move. Some of them make more sense than others.
For sure.
I don't know. I don't know that I have I'm not entirely opposed to making at least some subsection of them movable or moving, but yeah.
I'm also just not exactly sure what more exactly we would be trying to accomplish by that.
No.
I mean, there's some case to be made. I think that if they start moving, like, the resources that you get from them at that point could more or less just become forgeables.
Depends a little bit on how often they move. I mean, it's a different mechanic.
Sure.
It's, I mean...
For sure, I guess.
It's not entirely true. Add sky cube map around the map and Badcam. That would imply that Badcam is a supported camera mode.
And which it is not.
Which it is not. But we will probably do that sooner or later. Right.
I'm not sure I'd like to do that before we have good rendering distance.
Dang it. But we will have good rendering distance.
At some point.
The rendering distance shall increase. You heard it here.
As for the information you asked about 10,000 characters have died this world.
10,000 dead
Characters.
10,000 dead characters.
And the account with the most dead characters have 80 dead characters.
Alright, fair enough. 80 dead is the top account.
And as usual,
deadest
that's an
account.
extreme outlier, with number 2 coming in at 40.
Interesting. I have that person, says Daka. Would you care to explain why so many have fallen? I have that guy's skull pod.
Indeed. I would suspect that it's skull forming.
So they want me to visit Dakan's stupid graveyard. Says Arden's TV. Is it good? Is the graveyard good, Dakan? Well, Arden's called it stupid. I didn't. I just quoted him. I didn't say that it was stupid.
Well, you did say that it was stupid. You did literally say that it was stupid.
I didn't mean to imply that the graveyard was stupid. I simply referred to the graveyard by the geographical moniker that had been presented to me. That was all I did. So I did not mean to imply that I supported the naming convention there. I have no opinion of the graveyard as I have not seen it. Findon asks, can we get a snake and toad invasion for the end of the world? That could be fun. We'll consider it. Are you gonna make? Are you guys gonna show how realms expanded in this world like previous time? Like a time
right, that GIF. Perhaps I think there might have been some problem with it. Not sure though.
It's a strong perhaps.
I haven't actually checked it out at all. If it has worked, I'll make a movie of it. I also just feel that everyone is going to hate it since it just shows snails winning.
Insults snail on stream.
Alright.
That was a bingo square brick tile, whatever you call it.
This time I didn't even think of it. Also not sure it was an insult from my side, but I guess we can count it.
Let's see. Make Sandflea's bubonic plague carrier. So, how do you feel about infectious diseases that like transmit from Hearthling to Hearthling? I think that could be a lot of fun.
Well, I mean, it could be a lot of fun, but I feel that the crew faults would. What is the word again for people who collect like
Typhoid Mary, or no?
No.
Oh, bug catchers.
Bug catchers, yeah, right. Not sure bug catching alts would make the mechanic a lot of fun.
The stream takes a turn for the dark. Azri Rose Online says bat flu next world. That is a pretty good one. Like
it is.
bat flu, and since bats are the most commonly killed critter, I suppose everyone would enjoy more wounds from bats.
Indeed, makes sense.
Zented69 says actual use for ants in World 13. Maybe, who knows? Not promising much. Drunken Jacob says that is a bingo space. Bingo space, he suggests. He uses the term bingo space.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Bingo space.
No, he's saying that it's bingo space for a COVID joke.
Yeah, but he says
sure.
space rather than square.
Sure enough.
Or tile.
I get it.
Yeah. Bingo space for COVID joke. Yeah, let's see if we can do some more bingos. Surely, have you said surely?
I'm not sure actually. I've said sure. For sure.
World 13 spam. I think we can call that one.
Well, I mean, they didn't really need to spam it.
No, true. I did call something autistic. We have probably consider something.
I don't think we've literally said we'll consider though. OCO is not complete.
Yeah, for sure. No crashes. So let's see. That's probably true. Was Felix the one who followed me
I have
around?
no idea. I still don't know who Felix is.
Me neither. Probably the guy who usually follows me around, but I don't really know. I don't know him that
I see people referring to this Felix all the time, but
So
I have no idea what
he
who
seems to
he
be
is.
a man of some renown.
Indeed. Yeah, you did forgot to cross off important European facts.
Yeah, impromptu European history fact. I don't know how impromptu it was actually. It was kind of somewhat forced, but okay, we'll cross it over. So if you need more, I'm reading Ludendorff. So we're doing Ludendorff now.
Oh, you finished Mannerheim.
Yep, I did finish it last night. So we're doing
Nice.
Ludendorff's War Memories.
I actually resumed my reading of the Romanov book lately.
All right, how far have you gotten?
I'm currently at Alexander II.
Interesting.
Yeah, quite. Do
He's
you
the guy who
have
gets
a
murdered.
take on him?
He gets murdered, right?
Yes.
He gets murdered.
I haven't gotten that far yet. Thanks for spoiling it.
You're welcome. No, he's the Tsar Liberator. He's the
indeed.
guy. He's the
Indeed.
guy who.
Indeed.
Yeah. Who
Strikes me as dangerously liberal.
Yeah, he was the liberal one, and then he had two sons. The elder's son, he had at least two sons. The elder was Nikolai, and the second oldest was Alexander, who is to be Alexander III.
Indeed.
Yeah, for sure. Boom. And I love Alexander III. He's a reactionary entirely to my tastes. So he's one of the. Had he lived longer, had Alexander III lived longer, I think we would see a different playing out of the Bolshevik Revolution. I don't think it would have been the kind of cakewalk, easy peasy thing that it became under Nikolai II.
Oh, really?
I think Alexander III would have had a firmer hand. I think Nikolai's problem was always that he didn't have enough will to power to really be Tsar, I think. Not to disparage him, he had a great deal of love for his people and a great patriot and a martyr for the faith. So a beautiful man, but I think he lacked somewhat in the will to power required to run a modern state. Also, why Russia is carrying blood for England in the war is always going to be a mystery to me. But, so boom, got a second one. We'll do Ludendorff's memoirs next time. I'll give you
Ludendorff stream.
Ludendorff stream confirmed. A very important question is: do you guys watch any PvP videos?
Not a lot, because frankly, they confuse me.
Yeah, they confuse me too.
I have no idea what I'm looking at in 90% of the cases.
Or truth admissions coming late in the game.
Yep. But true for sure.
But true for sure. There we are. No, usually they're filmed from the kind of perspective of super modified user interface with like laser beams and
fast forwarded and with Benny Hill music and
Benny Hill music and a lot of like just pursuit and I don't doubt that it could be very interesting to someone who understands what's going on.
Yeah,
but
me neither. But I don't.
But I kind of don't either. To me, it just seems like long chase scenes, and that probably says something about the PvP. You could probably argue that says something negative about the PvP, perhaps. But
not necessarily sure it says something negative, mind you, but it might say something negative to
write home about.
It might say something negative that these kinds of videos are inaccessible to those outside of the PvP scene.
Yeah. But I don't have any preference for any particular maker of them. I think I've seen a couple of them that I thought were interesting. I know I've been sent videos that I've found interesting.
Mm.
So if you do send them to me, feel entirely free to, but please add some context. Explain to me what I'm looking at. That goes when you send me screenshots as well. Explain to me what I'm looking at as if I were a child, because
for sure there are many screenshot videos and just forum posts in general. There are needlessly obtuse, I think.
Yeah, and
it's just look at this thing, and it's supposed to be obvious what is bad about it, and it rarely is.
I can explain them to you guys. We can watch them together, and we have voice comms now. Like in-game voice comms, would you really want that? I'm not sure I'm not sure Snail can.
I'm not
trust
sure that's
those.
what he was talking about, though. I think he was talking about voice calling with you.
Oh, sure. We can do that sometime. We could do that on stream if you're up for it. Let's see. Zine says, have you looked at cleave opening a bit too high now? I think it's kind of an unintentional change from the equalization. Makes multiple people turning plus cleaving from 0 opening kind of easy and strong. Is there consensus on that? Is that a consensus view? Because if you have a consensus view on fighting, then I can make changes. But if that is your more partisan take on it, then I don't want to touch it. Because I don't know myself. I don't have any hot takes of my own on this subject. But if
that being said, I do wonder when it's time for the next combat system.
It's long overdue. So we're gonna have to do another deep dive on combat at some point, but it will not be in time for this reset. But we're not happy about the combat system.
Yeah, that's safe to say.
Kind of never been so.
So that's no news.
No news. But we're gonna do a retake on it eventually. It's just we got kind of burned last time, so and we get kind of burned every time we try and fail. So,
we recover sooner or later.
We do, and it's fun when we do it. It just kind of sucks to have to throw shit away that you worked on for a long time.
Yep.
How about replacing global pools with local pools? More reason to move when foraging. Maybe. Would that help? Chat? Would that make things better? Would you be more happy about local pools? Doesn't matter.
Perhaps. That's an idea, perhaps. Could consider.
We'll consider local pools instead of global pools. By the way, you guys, we're coming up on the 2-hour mark here, and we're going to call it a night there. So if you have any final questions or whatever, feel free to spam the chat. It's moving kind of fast right now, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to see. Allow me to build drawing frames and barrows, please.
The potential change to resource nodes message seems to be coming up multiple times.
Mm-hmm. Harvested the first time, the respawn timer is doubled. If it's harvested the second time in the same spot, it's doubled again. Alternatively, you could eventually destroy the node to get 2-3 resources while at the same time making it respawn somewhere else on the map. You could play the long game and sit on a long node or go for quick returns. That was an interesting approach. I'm not sure I would implement it
Not sure.
that way. But
Not
I'll
sure
make a note of it.
I'm not sure I get the consequences right now.
Exactly. I had to think about that one. That's a good post when I have to think a little bit about it. That's not even a well considered. I'm gonna have to meditate on the implications of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Why no adding new credos? I meant to have a longer discussion about this, but basically one of the reasons we did make the change to credos was to add more space to add new credos. But that being said, we kind of want to do a retake on the whole system.
Indeed. I think that's the real take home.
Yeah, we want to integrate it much more with the quest system, and we want to make the whole questing experience a whole very much more like holistically attractive and fun thing. And yeah,
that may be a thing that we'll work on soon.
Hopefully, I would be pretty excited for that change.
Yeah.
But
we don't have all the details clear to us yet, though.
Yeah.
So it's something that we'll have to think about for a bit longer.
Can you spoil one fun new content to wet our eager whistles before you go? Wet my whistle, Daddy.
Well, I mean, we did have spoiled some of them in the trailer, so.
Yeah, look at the trailer. There's some good ones in there. I think a new medal will be added. I'll say that. Trust me.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it there, Boots. Is it possible to throw enemy skulls with catapult? Is there a chance to create enemy skulls with catapult? Would be fun. Is there a throw arbitrary object with catapult? Would be fun. Would it create a heat map of where players are mostly located in this world? I suppose.
I've been thinking of those kinds of heat maps, but there are reasons why I don't think they make a whole lot of sense. At least not in any mathematical formulation I've been able to think of.
No. Favorite bot? Not sure I have a favorite bot. Potatoes. I think we're gonna end it on the potato note. We'll save the stream will be saved as a view on demand on YouTube and perhaps on Twitch as well. I'm gonna upload it to YouTube for sure. Again, guys, this was a lot of fun. As usual. We're very grateful for all the support and the questions and the interest that you take in our game, and
also really looking forward to this reset.
we're very much super excited about this reset. We think they're going to be a
As
lot
mentioned previously, it's really the reset I'm looking most forward in quite a couple of ones.
Yeah. So it's gonna be really great. We're just gonna we'll sail the Snecky out into the deep ocean and drown ourselves. It's gonna be fun.
I think that's gonna take some time.
No, it's gonna take some time. Fuck it. We won't do that. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, again, 2nd of April, Good Friday, will be the reset, aiming at 1900 hours UTC, and we're gonna bring up a new server, and we're really excited about the changes. So if you can make time for it, with family and whatnot, please feel free to consider playing World 13. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I would really appreciate it if you would like, share, subscribe, blah, 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 all the shilling. Bring the people in. I don't think you're going to regret it. I think it's going to be fun. So, with that, thank you. And,
thank you.
Yeah, have a good one, guys. I hope you guys are excited about a new world as we are. Quite simply. And so again, a lot of fun. Very grateful for all the support. Jesus loves you, cringy Jesus ending, bingo space. Take care, guys. Catch you on the flip side. I'll be on the forums. Any questions, all that stuff. Stay safe, and I'll see you in World 13. I'm super excited. I hope you are too. Good night, guys. Take care.